region is so vast, and access to each of these communities is very, very difficult. And a lot of money and investments are being put in the northern region, but the health indicators are not improving. Nutrition, stunting are still very bad in the northern region. We're not seeing the necessary changes.
Dicha kan suhu paligi dama n nyɛ taɣaba di puuni.
Tin deeri laɣari maa di ka tin daa be shɛm maa ka che saham ni pa deeli kuna ŋɔ.
So the main reason for doing the research is to identify the impacts of the LEAP 1000 program. And we're collecting data from about 2,500 households. The research is composed of two different elements. One is a quantitative element, and another part is a qualitative study, collecting more in-depth information from a very small sample of people.
So the quantitative approach usually uses large samples, and it measures the more objective kind of indicators like food consumption, food security, children's nutritional status.
Quantitative research is key because it provides empirical evidence before you can draw conclusions on any program and then decide whether to make a scale up or not.
The qualitative evaluation itself gives another perspective on impact. It's another source of truth. It's another way of understanding how this program has affected people. In addition to the interviews, we're both trying to observe what's going on in the communities, what other development programs do we see, how remote or connected they are, so what's the road and the infrastructure situation, what are the nearest health facilities, the schools. There'll probably be an integrated quantitative, qualitative effort to start to pull together the data that we have and present it to the government and key stakeholders and talk about what we have.
The biggest challenge we faced was identifying, locating women and interviewing them. By the time we went into the field, that data was not available. So we did not have specific addresses of these women. It was particularly more challenging in the northern region because the communities were quite dispersed. There were also geographic barriers that made it difficult because the study was in the rainy season, so rivers were still running, and there were communities that did not have bridges. So it was quite challenging moving from one community to the other.
So the results that we found so far show that the LEAP program is very well targeted. So it's really reaching the poorest households. We've also found in the data that the lives of these women are very complicated.
We realize that men actually play a key role in terms of how resources are being used within the household. And so just talking to the women about how these resources are being used would not give us the complete picture. It also revealed polygamy was one of the issues that needed to be further investigated or looked at.
We find a high level of violence within the households. We see that women don't have high knowledge about nutritional foods for children. It shows what the program has to do to make sure that the cash is translated into outcomes for children. So those are some of, I think, the interesting findings that are actionable, that the ministry can actually use to make the program better already.
So by combining all of this information and this evidence together, we can really show a clear picture of what these programs, cash transfer programs, how they can impact poor populations in sub-Saharan Africa. And we can really show policymakers and the academic world how these programs work, if they work, and how they can contribute to development.